What's up, everyone? We're here in Eugene, Oregon, and we're getting ready for these 2024 U.S. Olympic trials, which are going to be going down right here on the track. Now, I wanted to dive in and talk about who are some of the top names that we have to look out for when talking about the men's 100-meter dash. This is arguably one of the most wide open events that is on the track for the entire year, not only in the United States, but of course across the world. But the question on everyone's mind is who is going to be able to actually make the USA team going to the Olympic Games in Paris, France this year. There's a couple favorites, there's a couple guys who are definitely kind of leading the pack, but there are some guys who are very likely going to surprise the rest of the field and make it onto the team. So let's dive into some of these main players, and I have to start off with Christian Coleman. Christian Coleman has come back from, sitting out from the sport for a couple years during 2020 as well as 2021. He made his first Olympic team on the relay back in 2016 to Rio. He was still at the University of Tennessee at that point, but since then, he's of course become a world champion, world indoor record, 9.76 personal best. He has a lot of accolades to his name, but in 2024, he's run a best of 9.95 seconds. So he isn't nearly as fast as he might have been previously, but he seems to be gearing back up, getting into form at the perfect time, and he seems to be ready for the Olympic trials. Yes, he didn't get on the podium last year in Budapest. Yes, he didn't get onto the podium in 2022 in Eugene, but Christian Coleman knows that this is the year that he is really going to have to put everything on the line, and I think he is in a very good position to make the team. Now, he's going to have a lot of competition, of course, but again, I do want to highlight that Christian Coleman very much in that conversation, and if anything, he could actually win this entire Olympic trials. But along with Christian Coleman, I would say probably the co-favorite here is Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles, of course, is a defending world champion in the 100-meter dash, has a personal best of 9.83 seconds, which he ran in Budapest to get that gold medal. He also just this year ran 9.85 seconds at the Racers Grand Prix, finishing second place behind Oblique Seville. But he has been very, very consistent all throughout 2023 as well as 2024 when talking about the 100-meter dash. Yes, his personal best isn't as fast as a Christian Coleman or as fast as a Fred Kerley or some of the other guys, but that consistency has been able to bring him to the top of the podium when talking about World Championships last year. Now, on this track at USA's last year, Noah Lyles actually finished third place behind Christian Coleman as well as Cravont Charleston. Christian Coleman finished second place just behind Cravont Charleston. But I do think that Noah Lyles, again, with Christian Coleman, probably the equal favorite when talking about the 100 meters potential going to the Olympic Games. And I think he's in a very good position to potentially make that team. But like I noted, his personal best a little bit slower than some of the other guys, like a Christian Coleman, but also like a Fred Kerley. Fred Kerley, he's a 2022 world champion in the 100-meter dash, personal best of 9.76 seconds. He's also run 9.7 a couple other times as well. He, of course, is one of the top 100-meter sprinters, having dipped down from the 400 in his previous years, right? 2019, he got the bronze medal in the 400, personal best of 43.64 seconds. He has those accolades over there, but since 2021, he's dipped down to the 100, got the silver medal at the Olympic Games, got the gold medal at the 2022 World Championships, but since then, it's kind of been a little up and down. He had the bye and the wild card going into the Budapest World Championships, but he didn't make that 100-meter final. On top of that, this year, he's kind of looked a little up and down. Did, decently well early season, competing in Florida in the United States, then went over to China. Unfortunately, didn't win any races there, finished second place to Christian Coleman, and then third place to Coleman as well as Akani Simbine. So a little up and down, but I do think that Fred Kerley might be able to pull things through. I don't know if he's going to make the team, but I think he's going to really step things up and show himself when we get to the Olympic trials, just coming up in a few days. Now, along with Fred Kerley, one guy who I think has a very, very, very good shot to actually make the team is Bednarek. Kenny Bednarek, of course, is known as a 200-meter runner, Olympic silver medalist in 2021, World Championship silver medalist in 2022, personal best of 19.67 seconds, which he ran this year in 2024. He also has a personal best in the 100 of 9.89 seconds. When did he run that personal best? 2021 at the Olympic trials, where he finished fourth place, just getting edged out actually by Fred Kerley, who eventually made the team to the Tokyo Olympic Games. So he is not new to the 100-meter dash. He has the performances, he has the consistency, and 2024 has been the season of his life. He, of course, has not run a personal best yet, but he does have a windy time of 9.91 seconds, which he ran out in Kenya early on this year. He also has run a legal time of 10.01 seconds, so he has been kind of in the form of his life. He also was run the second leg for the USA out at the World Relays in the Bahamas, and both times on that second leg, he split 8 seconds. So extremely consistent, along with his 200-meter performances this year. Listen, Kenny Bednarek has, again, a very, very, very strong shot to not only make the team, but in my opinion, I think he could actually win the USA Olympic trials. Christian Coleman is there, Noah Lyles is there, but I think Kenny B is in the form of his life. Now, is that actually going to happen? I don't know, but he has the potential to do so. So Kenny B, he is very much in the conversation to make the team to the Paris Olympic Games this summer. Now, behind these guys, I think there's a lot of guys who are still in the conversation. You're talking about someone like PJ Austin. PJ Austin has a personal best of 9.89 seconds, which he ran last year coming out of Florida. He did make a strong name for himself, again, coming out of the NCAA. This year, he's actually been very, very consistent. We just saw him down in Atlanta at the Edwin Moses Legends Meet, and he ran a best of 10.02 seconds, actually into a headwind, negative 0.9 meters per second. So PJ Austin is low-key becoming one of the top 100-meter sprinters in the United States this year, and very likely could make the team. He is also in that conversation. You also have someone like a Kendall Williams. Kendall Williams this year ran 9.93 seconds, equaling his personal best, which he set in years prior. And on top of that, last year at the USA Championships, he finished, I think, 5th place in the 100-meter dash in that final. So it's not like Kendall Williams is some sort of fluke. He's actually been pretty consistent. Yes, he won the World Junior Championships all the way back in 2014, actually on this track in Eugene. So he does have some history. He's been a little up and down from, World Juniors, going to the University of Georgia, becoming a pro, and now getting back into the form of his life. I do like where Kendall Williams is at. And again, if he finished 5th place last year, who knows what he might be capable of this year in Eugene. We also got to talk about Courtney Lindsey. Courtney Lindsey has been having the season of his career, specifically in the 200, setting a best of 19.71 seconds, actually beating Latil Tobogo out in Kenya. He also ran 19.8 down in Florida. He was on the World Relays team for the United States, running that first leg. Very, very consistent all throughout the year, but don't sleep on his 100-meter accolades. Yes, last year at the USA Championships here, he only made it to the semifinals, but he has a personal best of 9.89 seconds, which he ran while he was at the NCAA. This year, he's run 10.24, so of course not nearly as fast. He ran it into a very, very strong headwind, but considering what he's done in the 200, I don't think that's really indicative of his true potential in the 100-meter dash. Now, last year, like I said, he made the semifinals at the USA Championships in the 100, but he did make the team in the 200 and went on to the World Championships in Budapest there. So he does have the, ability to actually perform when it counts, getting to the World Championships, competing with the best in the world. And again, it would not surprise me to see him make the team here in the 100-meter dash. I also want to give a shout out to Ronnie Baker, Olympic 5th place in the Tokyo Games in 2021, personal best of 9.86 seconds. He has been one of the mainstays over the past couple of years, right? Actually dating back to 2017, 2018. He's been very, very consistent. Now, he has dealt with some injuries. He's dealt with some ups and downs, kind of setbacks that have kept him off getting onto any USA team since 2021. But you can't sleep on Ronnie Baker's potential. He, again, has that personal best of 9.89 seconds. This year, he's run 10.15 seconds, I think also into a very strong headwind. So he does have a little bit of a ways to go to get down to be competitive, getting into those 10 flats or those 9.9s that it likely will take to make the team. But I do like the potential that Ronnie Baker has to get back into that form that saw him got 2nd place at the Olympic trials in 2021 and to get 5th place at the actual Olympic Games. Now, we also have a couple other guys. You have Christian Miller, the high school phenom who ran and had the world lead for a little bit with 9.93 seconds. That's the USA World U20 record and a huge performance. I don't think he's going to really make an impact here. Again, still in high school, still young. We've seen a couple high school guys between Trayvon Bromell, we've seen Jeff Demps, right, in 2008. A couple guys actually made a real strong impact at USA's in previous years, but I'm not sure if Christian Miller is going to be that guy, but he has a very, very bright future ahead of him, and we might see him make those semifinals. Could make the final, wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think I'm going to pick him for the team. We'll see how he kind of progresses there. Now, Kyree King, want to give a shout out to him as he's also been having kind of a career season. He's run 10.02 seconds this year. He's been very consistent in the 200, almost getting his personal best earlier this year in the 200 as well. So Kyree King, one to look out for. He's going to be kind of doubling up in the 100, 200. We might see him get into that final and anything happens at that point. Now, the final guy I want to talk about is Cravont Charleston. So he, of course, is a 2023 USA champion in the 100-meter dash, famously unsponsored, running for Tracksmith, but he beat out Christian Coleman. He beat out Noah Lyles. He beat out the entire field to get that USA title. But throughout the summer, he unfortunately got injured right before Budapest, so he wasn't able to progress through the rounds. And through 2024, he actually hasn't opened up his season. So we don't know what his current status is. Not sure if he's healthy, not sure if he's, just going to sit out the year and not compete at USA's. But Cravont Charleston, if he does show up at USA's, it'll be a shock, but who knows? Again, USA champion, he could come out and actually surprise the field. But that's kind of the landscape of the men's 100-meter dash as we lead into the 2024 USA Olympic trials. The previous Olympic trials, we saw Trayvon Bromell, we saw Ronnie Baker, we saw Fred Kerley. They all made the team there. 2016, we saw Justin Gatlin, we saw Trayvon Bromell, we saw Marvin Bracey Williams. They all made the team. 2012, it was Tyson Gay, Justin Gatlin, Ryan Bailey. So we've seen a new set of guys, aside from Justin Gatlin, make the team year after year after year. Even dating back to 2008, when we saw Tyson Gay, we saw Walter Dix, and then we also saw Doc Patton. So it's been a lot of turnover year after year, and even more so when we're talking about the World Championships. But this is going to be a race that you do not want to miss. My team in the 100-meter dash, well, I'm probably going to have to go Christian Coleman, Noah Lyles, and Kenny Bednarek to make the team. Yes, I do think that Christian Coleman is going to be able to pull out the win. I think he's been making some really, really steady progress. And Christian Coleman has been able to prove that he can show up when it counts at USA Championships. He's won USA's multiple times. He, of course, finished second place last year, but he knows that this is going to be his big chance to not only get on the Olympic team, but also get on the podium in Paris later on this summer. Now, getting onto the podium is a whole different story. We have a whole month between Olympic trials and then getting to the Olympic Games, but Christian Coleman, I'm really looking forward to seeing if he can actually win this thing. And then Noah Lyles. Now, he's been probably the best guy. He has the USA lead with 9.85 seconds, but I do think that Noah Lyles is going to comfortably make the team, but I probably think he's going to finish second place. And it's actually going to be a tight matchup between Kenny Bednarek. I think Kenny B, this is going to be his time to make the 100-meter team. He's in the form of his life, like I noted. He has a personal best of 9.89 seconds, and he does not want to lose. Like I said, Kenny B could go out and actually win the entire thing. I don't know if that's going to happen, but Kenny B, the form of his life, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do. But don't let that downplay what some of the other guys have done who I listed out through this whole thing, right? Fred Kerley could shock the world and really come out and actually win USA's or make the team at least, right? PJ Austin, he has been in the form of his life and consistently getting better and better and better. Kendall Williams could surprise. Christian Miller, who knows, a high school kid. So let me know what you think about the USA Olympic trials, specifically this men's 100-meter dash. Who do you think is going to be able to make this team? Who do you think is going to be going to Paris? And who do you think is going to get upset and get left off the team? And also, what time do you think it's going to take to win USA trials? Let me know what you think. Again, go in the comments. Don't be scared. Give me your top 3. Who do you think is actually going to make this team? Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.